to the First Gen All-In Experience.
Hi everyone, welcome to the First Gen All-In Experience. Let's tune in as we divide into our Career Mentor Week. Today we have a special guest, Miss Sha'Ketta Davis.
Okay, so you mind introducing yourself, where are you from, what's your title, and what's your career in your nonprofit?
Okay, so my name is Sha'Ketta Davis. I'm born and raised in Greenville, Mississippi. So yes, I'm a Mississippi Delta girl. My current title in my professional career is the Executive Director for the Mississippi Delta Gear Up Partnership, housed at Delta State University. And for my nonprofit, I'm currently the board president as well as the CEO and founder. My nonprofit is called MAGIC. It stands for Making a Great Impact in the Community, and we were founded in 2017. We became tax exempt in 2020, and we got trademarked in 2024. So,
Alright.
That's amazing.
CEO, I like that.
yeah.
So, what inspired you to start your nonprofit business?
So, I am a third generation nonprofit professional in my family. My grandma was in nonprofit. My grandma is still in nonprofit and she's almost 80. My mom is almost 60 and she's in nonprofit administration. And so of course that was just like second nature to me. I've been volunteering and working in nonprofits since I was 9. So that's almost, I ain't gonna tell you my age, but that's a lot of years ago. And just knowing that the work that I do is really helping to impact the lives of students, children, community members, and just the community at large is really one of the main reasons why I focus my energy so heavily into volunteering and giving back through nonprofit volunteer and work experience.
That's amazing.
So, with your students that have passion for going into this field, like how can they begin to shape it into a vision or like a model? Like what steps do they need to take?
So first of all, I think one of the foundational steps would be to make sure you have a sound vision and mission. A lot of times we have ideas about programs we want to start or things we want to see different in the community, but if you don't have a sound, concrete vision, not just a vision, but your mission, values that you want your organization to uphold, and goals and objectives that you want to achieve, then you definitely will not be setting yourself up for success. So the first step for anybody, even if you're starting a for-profit or a nonprofit, is make sure you have a clear vision and mission of what you want to achieve and how you want it to look over the next 5 to 10 years.
That's right. So, we know that nonprofits can operate in so many different fields. How would you describe the versatility of the nonprofit sector and where the students like us might fit in?
So there, like you said, there are a whole lot of different industries when it comes to nonprofits. They have different visions, missions, and so whatever your particular interests are, there's probably already a nonprofit exists that is related to that. Like for you, nursing, there are definitely many nursing opportunities through nonprofit organizations. So just start with research and find opportunities that align with what it is that you want to do. And then they'll definitely be welcome and open to have you as a volunteer. Most of the nonprofits I work with have volunteer tracks, so they train you on what is expected of you as a volunteer, let you know what their organization is based on, like what their founding principles are, and the work that they do in the organization and in the community. So definitely just find out what you like, and then explore to see what nonprofits exist around your ideas.
Okay, we can be real.
Okay, let's get real.
What are some of the biggest misunderstandings about how nonprofits operate, whether that be financially or how do they really sustain themselves to operate?
So I think the biggest misconception about a nonprofit is that it is a nonprofit and you do not profit. So how can any business, and a nonprofit is a business, how can any business function if they don't have some type of profit? Right. So I think the misconception is that they cannot profit, period. But what it actually is that nonprofits are not designed to just make money and give the money to whatever shareholders that are a part of the organization. So they do function as any other business. They have funding streams. They have to pay staff. They pay, you know, for whatever expenses they have. So they definitely cannot be not for profit in terms. You understand what I'm saying? So I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions about nonprofits.
So what you're saying is you roll in the dope for real.
Listen, we on the thing. I can't see it.
You roll in the dope.
But yeah, you can definitely make a career out of working, you know, for a nonprofit. It's just based on the area that you're in and your particular field of study.
So let's say as a college student, because most of our college students, we want to do something, but we have financial, sometimes discomfort and not have the financial opportunities. What would you advise for a college student? Let's say I want to start a non-profit business. Mm-hmm. What steps should I take?
So before starting a nonprofit business, I always suggest that people volunteer with nonprofits because there's a lot to starting and maintaining a sustainable nonprofit organization. So I would start out by saying volunteer with nonprofits. And once you volunteer, kind of get your feet wet, see all of the different components that go into it. If you still want to start like your own nonprofit, start with a strong mission. Again, I'm stick with that. Strong mission, strong vision, strong values and objectives and goals for your organization. And so if you really want to know, like, business wise, the first step would be to get your name. And so whatever your business name is, make sure that you do like a search with the state Secretary of State to make sure that nobody else in the state has a business with that particular name. And then you can register your organization on whatever state you're in on their Secretary of State website. And then make sure to also complete the state's charity application so that you can consider yourself as a charitable organization. And so that's on the state side. If you want to create your organization, and that you can just be a regular nonprofit in your state if you want to be. But if you want to become like a 501c3 tax exempt organization, that's a different set of documents. There are federal documents. And the forms you have to complete will be a 1023 form. And so they have a long form if you're expecting to receive a certain, like over $50,000 a year. And if you're expecting to receive less than that, they have a short form. It's really straightforward and easy to complete. So Secretary of State, and then your federal documents. And then also make sure you register with sam.gov. Because anybody that's going to be giving you grants or any type of funding is going to go directly to sam.gov to make sure that you are an active, legitimate business and business owner. So those are the 3 first steps. That's why I said, baby.
It's a lot.
Listen, I'm trying to tell you. If you want, like, that's why I say volunteer. Volunteer with the organization and see if they have any opportunities to volunteer, like in the administrative sector. Because a lot of times people volunteer on the program side. It's easy to do the work on the outside, but knowing how the logistics go and the operations go of a nonprofit will be valuable to you before you actually start a nonprofit. I had to learn the hard way, so. That's my piece of advice.
Maybe we won't all have to learn. We learn from you.
Yes.
We get it kind of easy.
That's the goal.
That's the goal.
Right?
Thank you.
Right?
Okay, so when you were first starting your early stages, what challenges did you have to endure, and then how did you overcome it?
So the biggest challenge for me has been just really advertising my nonprofit, because I'm the type of person, I just want to help people. Just make sure that the job gets done. And a lot of times when it comes to providing services, I come out of my pocket, I ask my friends, can you volunteer and do this, that, and the other. So just making sure that you are in a position to be business minded and run your nonprofit as an actual business that has diverse funding streams. A lot of times nonprofits focus solely on receiving funds from like the federal government through grants, which we have learned is not the best or most sustainable means of running your organization. So just making sure that you have various opportunities and diverse funding streams, such as receiving donations from people and I have a hard time asking for donations. On my website, I still don't have like a little do you want to give button on there, because it's like, I don't want to ask, I just want people to give. So I'm still, it's still a phase that I'm overcoming, putting myself out there advertising and asking or seeking funding.
No PPP loans, basically what I was hearing.
You know what I'm saying? You know it.
No PPP.
And so, but there are other funding streams aside from loans. Like I said, donations from individuals, you can just ask, and then they have what they call corporate sponsorships. So you can write letters to different corporate organizations. So if you want to start, you know, the business that you talked about, you can write a letter or an appeal letter or letter of interest is what they call it, LOI. Just saying, this is what I want to do you have funding available, this is how much it would cost to sustain this particular program, have a budget along with it, and you can submit that to a corporate sponsor and they can possibly sponsor you. Well, different organizations do crowdfunding, crowdsourcing, and of course the grants like we talked about earlier.
So, how to keep the mission alive when the hard times strike? Because, you know, there are some issues that can be the health, like global pandemic, or other like natural disaster type of issues. How to keep the mission alive and maintain the momentum of the mission?
Okay, so two things. I would definitely say community awareness and community involvement, and then flexibility. So when it came to COVID, nobody expected COVID to happen. And like I said, I started my nonprofit in 2017, so COVID was 3 years after that. And instead of being able to provide like direct services to students or galas, like we did an awards gala in 2018 and 2019, we were supposed to do another one in 2020. It was called Greenwood Girls Rock, so look it up if you haven't heard about it. And so we had to kind of pivot. So definitely, like I said, community involvement and awareness, and then flexibility. Just making sure that you know exactly what the pulse of the world is, so you can kind of adjust and adapt your services and interventions accordingly. So instead of doing in-person things, we started doing a lot of things virtually. And then we even called in like different banks to talk to people about saving and, you know, spending during the pandemic. So just being able to be flexible and shift during times of uncertainty or unprecedented times is definitely a key component to being successful.
I have one more question. So, what advice would you give to someone that's like trying to start a business and they're kind of in their starting stages and it's looking a little ugly? Like, what advice would you give them to just tell them to like keep going?
Find a mentor. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. It's so many wheels that's been invented, like so many different times. So I would definitely say find a mentor. Somebody who is doing exactly what it is that you want to do 5 or 10 years from now, and just seek that person out. You know, ask them, you know, just plain and simple, hey, I'm interested in doing blah, 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 and I like what you have done and how you've been able to scale and grow your business. I would like to seek you out as a mentor. Do you have time? And if they say yes, then just move forward with that. But just make sure that you're ready, because mentors really want to groom and grow individuals. Mentors don't want to just have conversations and then we come back to the table and we're talking about the same stuff over and over. When mentors give information, just be prepared to take it and you know, and run with it. So that's my advice. Just find a mentor. That's somebody that you can trust, that you admire in your field, and just go with it.
It's actually an incredible advice. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, there you have it. The blueprint for nonprofits. Ms. Davis, we thank you for joining us today. And for anyone out there that would like to contact you for mentoring, you know, you in our mentor week. Like, where can they reach you?
So you can reach me on social media, on Facebook. My name on there is Sha'Ketta Davis. It's scrolling across the bottom of the screen right now. And my phone number, I'll give my phone number out, 662-291-0012. Text me, call me, and I will definitely be able to set up a consultation with you so that we can talk about your future in nonprofit.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate it.